Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashum Yahushai, Ba'ashum Rakakwadash, and I want to say Shalom to Akhenaquath out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one's titled InternetHoez and the Mindset of the American Woman. Right? InternetHoez and the Mindset of the American Woman. And really, it should be InternetHoez and the Mindset of the Black American Woman. Right? Because that's who we're dealing with today, which is arguably the worst offender of all. And I got a couple scriptures here that I wanted to touch on. Got a couple videos here that I wanted to look at. Bear with me. Oh, that's gonna have to get blurred out because that's just all my Instagram information. But yeah, so I got some stuff in my saved here. Let's see, which one did I want to see? Actually, there might be more saved than I previously thought. Let's see. So the one here, these two are the ones that we're really looking at today, but let me go see what this one is.
I don't want a man who's only going to judge me based on my size.
You just called him short. We don't want a woman that's only gonna base us based off our height. The same way he doesn't qualify for you. With your figure, a lot of guys you won't qualify for.
Give me a second.
That's okay.
Do you want a hug? Okay, you guys are all just like really misogynistic.
How do you define misogyny? I'm just asking how you define misogyny.
Crying? Probably. That's how you might cry. Yeah, he's crying.
Can I go?
The most attractive men you would ever see, I would turn them down immediately over like some like mid white boy.
So you've just made a categorization. So you said there's beautiful men and there's mid men. Why are you able to make an objective determination about someone's physical appearance, but you can't do that to yourself?
I will always consider myself a 10. I do what I want with the way I look.
But how can, if it's...
Bro, you can all down these specifics. You want me to say I'm like a 9? I don't care what you say. I really don't care what you think about how I look.
That's fine.
Are you alright?
Well, it's kind of like stressful. You're putting me on a podcast to debate how I look, and I've already...
You see, and that's American white women. That's how they act, right? They cry at everything. And they'll say, oh, appearances aren't everything. Appearances aren't everything. You need to stop judging women on this and that and that. And but then they'll say, oh, and you ask them about their weight, it's an issue. But they want to know how tall you are. They want to know how much money you make. They want to know this. They want to know that, right? And the mindset of the American woman. These women are all fucked up in the head. And that's just those two. What is this one?
Bro, get the fucking camera on my face.
This girl is delusional.
How am I delusional?
Y'all, this girl mad. You mad at a notification from Netflix.
Yes, it's something
you
about...
You can't be real.
Do you think I'm stupid, Kevin Howard?
Look how serious she looks too.
Stop. You know that people can go in settings and change the name of let's say it's a phone number, right?
Girl,
and put
it was
Netflix
fucking...
on it.
Girl, get on my face.
Okay, but what was it saying?
Look how serious she is,
Why was it saying, get ready to watch blah, blah, blah movie? Why was it saying that?
They want me to get ready to watch the fucking movie because it's a new release.
Who?
NETFLIX. Bro, I'm not finna play with you. Netflix. Why would I change somebody's user?
What's your name? It's not Netflix because you can literally go on messages, put a picture as in Netflix, just like that.
You delusional.
Look
at her.
Put Netflix like that, and then just change the whole name.
Trying to really explain herself too.
I'm not.
Why would... There's a scripture that already comes to mind with that. So let me say, hey Siri. Siri. What was it? Just gonna get it in the search. And you got these women that are so jealous, all right, that they'll be fucking stupid because of it. These women, man, you brothers really need to watch the fuck out who you're dealing with, man, because these women are nuts, all right, and they'll get you caught up. What Let's see if I can find it. No, I don't want the smart search. Give me the precise search. Let me find it. Thought I just saw it. Woman that is jealous of another. Jealous woman. Alright, Slocky. I'm glad that I went ahead and double checked because, yeah, the Honda CarPlay in here was fucking with it because I was hooked up to the Bluetooth. So I got it all turned off now. So should be all good to go. And in the meantime, I actually did end up finding the scripture because isn't it funny how the Bible app cannot find the scripture, but Google can? It's ridiculous, man. It's completely ridiculous. And they claim to have the Apocrypha, the 1611, the KJV 1611 or the Apocrypha, but you can never find the apocryphal scriptures, all right, and in the Bible search in there. So their app's really full of shit. All right, it's not that good of an app. If I had better tech knowledge, what I would do is I'd make my own app that would search the way I want it to search, and I just give it all the brothers for free, and then I'd make it to where no one else could get it, you know. But because the search for these ones suck, man. But Ecclesiasticus 26:6, scripture I was looking for. But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman, and a scourge of the tongue which communicateth with all. So, a sorrow of heart, you got these women, and I've seen it a lot with Jake women, especially Latino women, man. They're jealous as shit. All right. And they go crazy. Like I said, this is really just about all these women, man. It's just leave these women alone, man. Just leave these women alone. All right. I gotta go and do this again. Ain't no fucking thing want to go right with Instagram. But so that's gonna have to be blocked out a couple times. But yeah, man, leave these women alone, man. Really, if you gotta hit with Pamela, all right, that's better than And I hate to be vulgar, right? I hate to be vulgar and talk about shit ain't nobody want to talk about, but it's really to having an evening with your hand is better than to fucking get around and here it is. You go out with Shaniqua or you go out with fucking Maria, right? And you go out there and you have a 1-2-1-2. All right, you get you some cat. And then now you got issues. All right. Now you got this bitch hitting up your tech. Where are you at? Where you been? Where are you been? You ain't message me. Well, I'm gonna get my cousins on you. You can't fuck around like this. Where are you been? It's like, well, you were being fucking crazy. You hit me in the head with a frying pan. So you shouldn't have been being so stupid. Right? You fucking hit me in the head with a frying pan. Bitch, don't ever contact me. I'm gonna find my cousins. They're gonna find you. All because of some cat. Right? Or a black woman will box you herself. You ain't shit. You ain't shit. Here you got Glorilla ass bitch. All right, now she wants to hit you in the jaw. All right, and she grew up with all brothers. So guess what? She bitch probably got a punch. All right, here it is. Now you gotta explain why you got a black eye. All right, all over some box, all over some cat, man. You watch out around these fucking women. They're crazy. Or they'll make you catch a case. They'll say he raped me. He raped me. He touched me. I said no, and he raped me. Right? You gotta watch out for that shit. That's the white woman's game. All right, that's big with the white woman. Now, all the women will do that type of shit. All right, but that's a white woman's game. And remember, once they got you in a court, man, they got you by the nutsack, man, because they got you. Because who do you think they're gonna believe? You, a man, probably, in most time in the truth. All right, a dark skinned man. We got speckled birds, right? But 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be a dark skinned man or even a light skinned man. You're sitting there with hair texture of wool, and they're immediately gonna think of you differently. All right, because of the color of your skin and because of that old hatred that he's had since the birthright fiasco, right? Because they sold their birthright and wanted to get it back like an Edomite giver, all right? Not an Indian giver, an Edomite giver. Remember, that's the proper way, an Edomite giver. They're the ones that give and then take away, okay? They're the ones that say, here, you can have this. And they say, oh, you stole that from me. You stole it. Well, no, you gave it to me. No, you stole it. Give it back. We want it back. You stole it. When they're the ones that do that. So just watch out, man. Just watch out with everybody. Okay, just be on, mind your P's and Q's, be on game, be on point, because you never know. These people out in the world are fucking crazy, man, especially these fucking women. All right, and I'm making this lesson because you brothers, so, not I won't say you brothers, but men in general, man, will do anything just over some pussy, man. And you will literally. There's an old saying. It says, and like I said, it's just the nature of it. It's going to be a little bit vulgar. All right, this ain't one you want to probably play out loud if you got kids, but there's an old saying that says, "My dick has led me places where I will not go with a gun." Do you realize how stupid of a sentiment that is? Why would you do that? All over some box. All over some box. Now you're gonna get ready to get. That's the other thing. You might just lose your life. You might just lose your life too. You got to be real careful, man. You got to be circumspect when you're dealing with these women. All right, like even the apostles say, it's almost better off to just go and get a prostitute. All right, hit the 1-2-1-2. They're doing their job. Leave them. That's it. Right? Because now you got some woman off of Tinder or some other site, or you met at the bar, or at a fucking fast food restaurant, or wherever the fuck at work, and now, especially at work, I would really employ. Now, I didn't really follow my own advice, all right, because that's how I met my wife, but at work, all right, but I would really not even mess with any women at work, and you women, I wouldn't really mess with the men at your jobs either, all right, and I'm gonna tell you one thing, because if shit goes south, you got to work with that person, okay? And you might just lose your job, right? You might lose your job, or you won't want to work with that person. You'll be hoping that they lose their job, and it's a big issue. So I wouldn't do it, all right? Because then they'll say, oh, this happened, then you lose your job, and now what? Now what? All over some box, all right? Or for you women, Rod, which you shouldn't be going and looking for a Rod like that anyway. You need to be looking for a husband, all right? And to give it really analyzing, because you only get one choice. All right, you women. All right, you only get to make that choice once. It's not like with men, these women. This lady was crazy, and really, you're not supposed to leave that woman, but she's in the world. You can't force that woman to be a wife. All right, she's not a wife. She's just a girlfriend. All right, and girlfriends come and go. Okay, so if she's in this truth, that's a little bit different. But 9 times out of 10, these women aren't in this truth. So here's another video. But yeah, these they're jealous. They're aggressive. All right, they're wild in the mind. Are they plagued in the mind heavily? And they got demons all over them, right? And so just be wise, you brothers out there. Be wise, man, because you don't want to get yourself in a situation that you're stuck with now, right? Just don't do it. Here's another one, and these are the two. Those were kind of really bonuses, the one I showed you, because these are the two that really the lessons on. So we're gonna really start getting into some scriptures here in a moment, because these are the two that this was planned around. So here you go.
With a condom, that does not count as a body. It does not.
So you gonna fuck 100 niggas,
and it's not gonna count.
Fuck nobody.
Exactly. It's not gonna count.
Yeah, that's
that's not gonna
that's
count.
different. Wait, so that means your boyfriend can do that. If you got a boyfriend, like, yeah, I'm about to go fuck with this broad right quick, but I'm gonna wear a condom, so it don't count.
You see, niggas don't know how to do that.
See, instantly switched up. It said woman started malfunctioning when her own logic was used against her, and she's a hoe. She's a 304. That's what she is. All right, and you can tell by the way she
with
looks.
A condom.
All right, the whoredom of a woman may be known in her eyelids. All right, let's go and get that one. It'll correct itself. Ecclesiastes 26:9. Do I want to read up? Let me see what we got here. Let's go and get a couple. Yeah, we're already in 26. So, yep. So we already got 26. All right, with the jealousy. We'll start up from 27. It says, an evil wife is and mind you, a wife, biblically, all right, is when you would lay down with that woman. Okay, and mind you, she would be a virgin. All right, and not all the time. She wouldn't always be a virgin. Not all the time. 9 times out of 10, she'd be a virgin. But she was either a virgin or a widow. All right, either a virgin or a widow. She had a husband and that husband died. All right, because now she's free from that law. All right, now she can she's not bound to that man anymore because he's passed on, so she's able to be married again. Now, a lot of women would remain unmarried, but you are legally allowed to remarry after that point, right? So, but again, you can't turn a whore into a housewife. You can't take one of these women out in the world that don't know nothing about the truth and try to, no, you're my wife. You can't leave, girl. You can't leave. She don't give a shit about anything, man, let alone something as blessed as this truth. You think she's going to care? She's not going to listen to you, man. She ain't your wife. She's something for the night. That's what she is. All right. Or something for, get what you get from it. and then that's it. Because a lot of these women, a lot of time they don't even want to stay around in the first place. All right, they have a attention span issue. All right, they get with a man. You're not boring. I learned things about you, and now I want to go on. And so they get with another man. They get bored of him, and they get another man. They get bored of him. They got to keep it new. All right, it's the same thing with clothes. They go out, buy a new outfit. I don't like this outfit. Go and buy a new one. I don't like this outfit. We liked it at the store. I liked it for a little bit. All right, they like it for a time and season, and then they move on. All right, that's how these women are. Nine out of 10 women are like that. All right, really 9.5 out of 10 women are like that. So if you got a good one that's not like that, hey, consider yourself blessed by Yahweh Shumi Shai, because a lot of these women will just jump ship. All right, fair weather friends, jump ship. They'll be with you, get what they can get from you, and then they'll just leave. So hey, on the opposite side of the spectrum, get what you can get from these women. If they leave, they leave. Womp womp. There's plenty of women out there. There's more women than men. So hey, you can always get another little piece. All right, you don't have to worry about, oh no, she left me. I don't know if I can continue, brothers. Don't do that shit. Don't do that shit. Ecclesiasticus 26:7. An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. He that hath hold of her is as though he held a scorpion. So you don't want to get yourself in a bad fucking situation. All right, and especially you brothers end up going, or you try to get a woman from one of these other camps like IUIC, and now she understands that law. You understand that law. So now you are stuck with that woman. She knows she can't leave and you can't leave. And the woman's a bitch. All right. And she's bugged the fuck out because she watches IUIC. All right. And they don't condemn, women, the wicked women's behavior over there. They just allow it to run loose. Okay. So that's probably why there's also a lot of adultery that's going on over there, because they don't have rules for the women. Okay. I think they're also the same ones, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they're the same ones that say, if you come in to the truth and you have an Edomite as a husband, you have to leave him. You can't do that. That's sorry, that sucks. You're stuck, right? You're stuck. You are stuck. That blows. All right. But that's just how it goes, man. That's just how it goes. So, continue on in verse 8. It says, and this is all about women. A drunken woman. Oh boy, a drunken woman. I hate a drunken woman, man. I cannot stand it. Okay? A drunken woman and a gatter abroad causeth great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. I'm fucked up. Right? Or they get all goofy and shit when they start drinking. And it just, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. Never have liked it. It is, men drink and they're like, yeah, man, I was doing this. Women, I don't know what it does. I mean, alcohol they're called spirits for a reason. These women already have a fucking enough spirits on them. So when you have alcohol, they're adding more spirits themselves, and they get goofy, and not goofy funny. They get goofy like, oh man, just fucking, I don't want to be dealing with this shit right now. You're too goofy. All right, you can't act right. And then in verse 9 it says, and this is the one we're talking about, and you could just tell. How do you know what type of woman I am? Well, Ecclesiasticus 26:9, the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. We can see it. We can see it. All right, you can see it. How's that? Was that part of the lyric in that new Playboy Cardi song called "I See You, Baby"? Well, I can see it in your eyes. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I can see it in your eyes. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. All right, we can see it. We can see it in your eyes. We can see it. Yeah, we can, because you could just tell a hoe. You can tell a hoe. People in the world say, back in the day, they say "fuck me eyes." You got "fuck me eyes." All right, those are hoe eyes. Hoe eyes. All right, they look. You can just tell they're a hoe. You can tell they're a sexually promiscuous woman just by looking at her in the face. It's all in the eyes, man. It's in the eyes, the eyelids, right? The way her eyebrows are, her face. You can just tell she's a hoe, man. And you women will, no, you can't. No, that's sex. Blah, blah. No, you can tell a hoe. You can just tell a hoe, and any man will be able to tell you just by looking at a woman. Boom, you'll be able to tell what type of woman that is. Okay, and I know you women don't like to know that, but it's true. It's absolutely true. That goes on to say in verse 10, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. If you know she's a hoe, you better watch her, all right? Because she will go and hoe and hoe and hoe and hoe and hoe. Okay? Now, that's why, as a father, you really got to watch your daughters, man, because these daughters, they're trying to say, just fuck, it's fun. And then here it is, you thought your daughter was, she's going to be a decent woman. And here it is. It's freshman year, and she's already got 30 bodies, all right? Because she's been fucking since middle school, all right? And she fucked 5 here, fucked 5 here, blew this one guy off, gave these 3 hand jobs, fucked 2 other guys, fucked this one guy, fucked him and his friend, and that's how these women will be. And you don't want that. Would you want a shoe that's been worn by 30 people? No, the fuck you would not. You would not want a shoe that's been worn by 30 people. Okay? Would you want, all right, a hamburger, all right, that some like that even 5 people touched? Only 5 people. Would you want that? Would you want that? No. You won't. Well, we're different. Well, why would you want, something on you, all right, that's been had all these different things, people touching it? You don't want that. All right. So, I damn sure won't wash my balls with a soap that 5 other men use. So I ain't gonna put my shit up in a woman that 5 other men have used. Right. So, but you gotta think about it. Would you use the same soap as another man that washed his nuts with? No. So why are you gonna go get with a woman that 15 fucking dudes have laid the smack down on? I ain't washing my nuts with some soap that other man used on his nuts. But you're gonna have a girl, wrapped around your shit that's been with 15 men. Think about it. Think about it, Jake. Really think about it. It's the same thing. That ain't the same thing. You're right. The soap's probably cleaner because it's soap, right? I still wouldn't do it, but at least it's soap, right? Well, what if they washed? These bitches don't wash like that, and it don't matter, man, because part of the essence of that man is in you, and it stays with you. And you don't like to hear that because you women don't like to hear nothing. You don't like to hear about how you act. You don't like how the Bible talks about you women. You don't like what men think about you. You don't like what other women think. What the fuck do you like? What do you just want your own opinion? You want to think what you want to think. That's why when you start giving women advice, they don't want to hear it. They're in that Kanye space. You can't give me no advice, right? You can't give a woman no advice. They don't want to hear it. These women, all right, even the good women, you'll tell them, hey, I wouldn't do that. They'll go and do it and say, I shouldn't have done that. Well, oh shit. Who would have thought? They don't want to hear the advice. It's just it's pre-programmed in them, even if they're trying not to be like that. That there's like it's just part of the curses with Jake women. They're pre-programmed to be too self-willed and self-forward, man. You know, um, and it ends up biting them in the ass, right? It ends up biting them in the ass. So you can't give a woman advice like that. They don't want to hear, because again, women are emotional. They'll hit you with the "I feel like" or "that made me feel" or something like that, because women reason by emotion, men reason by logic. Okay, so if you're telling you women you can't be doing this because the real way, they don't care. Well, I don't like that because I feel like that's a sexist statement. I feel like you men, and listen to how women speak. Well, when I saw, look at how men speak. When I saw you out there getting with all these men, I saw how these men were treating you. I saw that they were treating you like this. And you say that you want a good man, but here it is. I've seen all the men that you've been getting with, and they're not decent men. I see the type of people they are. I see the type of guys that they are. I see the type of people that they hang out with, and that's indicative of that type of person, of who they are. And I see how you're behaving and reacting to this, and it's not a good reaction. So what the correct choice would be get with higher value men. Don't get with these men from the street. Try to get a man that has his house in order. Try to get a man that's looking to build a family, and those are the men that you're going to look for. And then you're going to get. Well, I feel like that's not something I should be looking for, because I feel like the men that are trying to get their life, I feel like they're too controlling, because I feel like they want to be like too bossy with the women, and I feel like that's not the place for a man. I feel like they're to love the woman, and I feel like they are to provide, but I feel like those are the 2 examples I just gave you. What I saw this, I heard this. When I saw you be like this, I looked at this, I perceived this. Fact, 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 fact. Women, I felt, and when I felt like that, I felt like, when I felt like feeling like how I felt, right? You can't argue with that. So that's why these women, you can't, even that woman, you use a woman's own logic, all right, against her, and it won't work, because that's a big test with these women. All right, do the same thing that they did back to you. Use the same logic, and they'll say, "No, that ain't fucking right." Well, that's crazy, because that's your logic. You just use that on me. No, but that's different. It ain't fucking different. It's the same thing, but you don't like it because you know it's wrong. But you like it when you do it, because even though you know it's wrong, you feel like it's not wrong when you do it, because that's how you felt. Confused. And you women don't know what the fuck you want, all right? And that's what you men need to watch out for. These women don't know what the fuck they want, all right? I was talking with some of the the brothers, right? Not brothers in this truth, but some cool people that I'm cool with, all right, at my job, some black folk. And we were talking about, something about women. There's this younger Israelite woman, right? That's there. All right. And again, you gotta be filling out your situations with women, because you can't just say some shit. You gotta feel how they are and how they'll react. Because you say some shit, there could be some problems, especially at work. But I was basically saying, I'm like, women are confused. They don't know really what they want. And she's like, no, we know what we want. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. And we actually ended up proving her point. I said, no, you don't. You don't know what you want. And she said, I do know what I want. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna ask you a question. Would you rather have an aggressive man, or would you rather have a pushover as a man? And she said, I'd rather have the pushover. I said, no, you don't. No, you don't. And then she's like, no, I'd rather have the one that's a pushover. I'm like, so you want the pushover? And then one of the homeboys chimed in, and he said, okay, so I'm gonna ask you a question. So if you were out and some other guy started messing with you, would you want the guy to like scoop you and you try to go away, or would you want that guy to defend you and say, hey, back up, man, stop messing with her? And she said, oh, I'd want him to say, like, back up and stop messing with her. He said, okay, well, you don't want a pushover, because a pushover is gonna try to, the guy, he'll just let the guy keep messing with you and won't do anything. Okay. But the more aggressive guy is gonna say, hey, man, stop messing with her. Okay. She's not feeling it. But the guy that's a pushover, the guy's going to be pushing the woman, try to say, hey, fuck him. He ain't going to do nothing. He's going to try over here sliding on you when you're uncomfortable, and your man ain't going to do nothing about it. He's just going to let it slide. All right, again, you got to be circumspect, but at the same time, if a guy was doing that, hey, if I'm going to have to fight because of that, you got to be circumspect. But you, as a man, you can't just let a guy, be touching on your woman, try to fill up on her boobies and say, oh, she don't mean. I'm going to punch you in the fucking face. I'm going to hit you. Okay? And that's when you can't, well, that ain't circumspect. Circumspect is wearing unwilling to take risks. All right, you can't just let this guy molest your wife. All right, it's the same thing. If some guy's pushing you, hey, man, look, I don't want no trouble. Right, be circumspect. And try to spit. Try to blow on the spark. And Slocky, that's Satan. Try to spit on the spark instead of blowing on the spark first. And look, man, if he's gonna keep on punching you, that don't mean you just sit there and let him beat you up and you're on the ground holding your face. Ow, this hurts. Ow, oh, please stop hitting me. No, man, you fucking buck up and hit him back. Right? That's the other thing, because when you first came to the truth, I was like, can I not hit nobody ever? Right? And Lord willing, you never be in those situations ever. All right? We don't find ourselves in those situations. But if you are in those situations, you can't just let your woman get molested, right? You got it. Hey, man, get the fuck off her. What you doing, bro? Fuck off, bro. What the fuck? Get the fuck out of here, dude. Who the fuck is you? I'm her man. That's who. Stop it. Back up, dude. Stop. Get out of here, man. That's you can't just let it. Oh, you stand back in the side. Oh, he's grabbing her boobs. And what am I gonna do? No, that's effeminate, and the Bible also condemns you for being effeminate. All right, so you can't be effeminate and like that. So, and it proved the point. She said, no, I want him to defend me. So you don't want the pushover. Again, proving the point. You're confused and you don't know what the fuck you want. You don't know what you want. All right. And women will be like, oh, I want to know everything about a man. And then I was saying something along that lines to her. I was saying to him, I said, but women don't want that. Women want a mysterious man. She was like, yeah, we want mysterious men. Because she's single. All right. She's 18. She don't know fucking anything. She's like, we like mysterious men. And one of the homeboys was like, what? You don't, it's just women don't know what they want. Okay. So you as a man coming, this woman's going to think she wants one thing, but she wants something completely different. Look, man, again, just be careful with these women. They don't know what they want. They don't know what they want. They think they want, it's like that song by, who did that fucking song? If you want love, lower your expectations. Bo Burnham. It's the comedian. Is a comedian, and he had lyrics. All right. Listen to this verse. It says, you want a guy that's sweet, a guy that's tough, a feminist who likes to pay for stuff, the kind of guy that gets along with your friends without being attracted to any of them, a good boy, a bad boy, a good bad boy, a half good, half bad, half boy, loves your brothers, sensitive but not weekend, is a great lover and calls your mother on the weekend. Now, you might think this guy only exists in your mind, and guess what? You're right. If you want love, lower your expectations of you, because Prince Charming would never settle for you. It says, if you want love, just pick a guy and love him, and if he's got a thing for feet, say, fuck it, sweep me off him. right? So, let's see. Even the same thing for men. All right, it says right here. It says for men. It says you want a girl that's nice, a girl that's not obsessed with her looks, but is insanely hot, a girl that you can show to your folks, loves the movies that you like, and always laughs at your joke. A real girl, a really hot girl, a brand new, really hot real doll, which is a sex doll. Says wants to impress you, doesn't care if you notice, and only ever uses you to tickle her throat with. Now you might think this only girl exists in your mind, but she's real. But last week she died. So look, man, there needs to be some compromises that are made. You ain't gonna find the exact person that you think that you dream about. That look, they don't exist. They don't exist, man. You want a woman that never fights, never bucks up. She's always sweet, cooks for you, rubs your feet when you say it, gives you throat when you want it, does everything and never argues, never has a single fight. Says, "I want to go to Chick-fil-A." She says, "I want to go to Chick-fil-A too." That's never gonna exist. That woman does not exist. Okay, all right. And you women, I want a man that does this. That doesn't exist. All right, you want a man who's 6'2", all right, but isn't too tall, but isn't too short. But you want him to be dark, but not too light, right in the middle. But you want him to make anywhere from $100,000 to $200,000. But you don't want him at work all the time because you want him to have fun. All right. And you don't want him to be, you want him to be attractive, but not too attractive. You don't want other women to want to get with him and steal him. And you want him to be loyal, but you want him to be a commodity. Don't exist. This guy does not exist. All right. And that woman does not exist. Okay. Maybe in the movies. All right. But that's a problem. A lot of our people, they watch too many fucking movies, man. You watch too many movies and play too many video games to the point where the person that you're looking for does not exist. Okay. All right, Salakia. Yeah, it ended up hitting a button on this little fucking thing. But anyway, let's get back to it. Play the next video, and then all scriptures from here because I've been talking too much. But here you go. You already tell what type of person she is. Oh, Salakia, 1 minute. Let me restart it. But you can already tell the woman you can already tell just by how she is. You can tell she's proud. She's prideful.
The era, how old are you?
I'm 26.
The eyelids.
And for a man, I look for a man who is respectful, also ambitious, someone that I can learn from.
And now, what are some of your deal breakers?
So watch out.
That's cool. They must be not ambitious. But anyways.
Very beautiful, but might be a little sassy, you know? I like the reaction.
So, he said a little sassy. What do you think?
Okay.
That's like, come on, bro.
So now, is he someone that's your type?
No.
Ahmad, 33. Just wasn't my type, and it's giving city girl vibes. You came out real hot out the gate, and you got these temperaments and these, these facial expressions and stuff like that. I just wasn't feeling it. Kind of young and immature to me. So.
Is he someone that's your type?
No.
Okay, why not?
It's the nose ring and the earrings for me.
Your type, then why are you there?
Hey, everybody got,
Next.
And notice how the end up came
How
out
old
of
are
it.
you?
It completely changes her whole fucking mind. The black woman is a fucking a horrible wildebeest. You just stay the fuck away. I love black women. All right, honestly, they're beautiful. They're the most beautiful women. No guy is gonna disagree with that. Maybe an Edomite, or some of the heathens. Any Jake woman knows that the black woman is the beautifulest woman. But man, the attitude fucking problem is insane. So really watch out. I won't say, the apostles will say stay away. I would recommend probably stay away as well, unless you can 100% know that this woman's a good woman. But honestly, like I said, I'd just take the apostles' advice, and I don't know if I'd say 100% avoid, but I'd really highly recommend it, as they do. All right, they just say don't even fuck with a black woman at all. All right, now there could be a case, maybe it's just so rare. All right, and that's why the apostles, they're not saying that every black woman is terrible. Okay, but when they say avoid the black woman, they say that because 9 times out of 9, not even 9 out of 10, like 9.9 out of 10 are just bad. They're just bad. Okay. So, but I won't say 100% avoid. All right. As far as like, if they're a good woman or something, or, you've known them your whole life and you know how they are, something like that. That's a little bit different. And I feel like the apostles would agree, but I wouldn't I would. It's a lot of these black women are through. They're through, man. So let's see what we got here. This is why she's single. Grown men can sense it from a mile away. She acts like a 16-year-old. Absolutely. Clearly has an attitude problem, and no one wants to deal with that. Next, everybody pop their balloon. Men are waking up, and their standards are rising. Love to see it, and I agree. The thing is, every black man in this video is a commodity, and that woman is not. All right, there's more women than men. So really, you're looking for men. You're not the women. Women will come our way. Okay, women will come our way. You don't have to worry about it. But that's these women, man. They think that they're like God's gift or something, to the man. Like, you must have a woman. All right, you can't do anything without us. All right, well, hey, if we wanted to struggle, we could struggle on our own. Use your own fucking terminology against you. How about that? How about that? So let's go and get, my phone's about to die soon. So let's go and get Proverbs 6:24. It says, verse 23, for the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life, to keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman. Lust not after her beauty in thine heart. Man, she's so that's where it gets you. All right. That jiggle, and the apostles say that jiggle will get you. Right? You gotta watch out. Watch out, man. Think with your dick instead of thinking with your brain, and it's gonna get you in a bad situation. It says, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman, lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. For by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. So you're going to be likened to a fucking piece of bread, man. Nothing. And a little bit of crumbs, right? Crumbs of the bread and bread crumbs, all right? Bread falls apart real easily. Is that what you want to be? No. But by an evil woman, that's what's going to happen to you, man. All because this woman, you try, no, she's good, man. She's good for me. No, she's not. All right? No, she's not. Look, finding a good woman is very, very rare. All right? And really, it's not your first in focus at this time. Right? If Yahweh Shemi Shai wants you to be with a woman, he'll send you a woman. All right? But he'll also send you tests on the way. And you don't want to fall. He sends you this girl that's got a rocking body. She's like, come on, let's just fuck. Let's just fuck. Come on, let's just do it. Just one night. Come on, we can go in my house. Look. It ain't even gonna be that is when you go there. Oh, okay. Turns out she's got a man. Now you're in a fucking situation, right? When you should. Hey, it's all right. It's all right. No, I'm good, man. I'm good. Some situations you can take. Some situations you shouldn't take. You got to fill them out, weigh them out. All right. And if you have a bad feeling, it's probably because it's a bad feeling for a reason. All right. That's called the Holy Spirit or an angel. All right, contacting you and say, hey, I really wouldn't do this. If you ignore that, when people ignore that feeling, that's how people end up dead, man, or in prison or in a bad situation in general. Ignoring your first thought. I'm gonna go here. I wouldn't do that for you. I'm gonna ignore that. I'm just gonna do that anyway. Well, that's usually how bad shit happens. Just saying. So let's get Proverbs. I don't want to rush, but unfortunately I got to rush because my phone's been dead all damn day because it's just, I was charging it and it only got, charging it for like 30, 40 minutes and it only got up to like 20%. So let's get Proverbs 21 and 19. And mind you, this is something you brothers need to take into account. It says, it is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and an angry woman. A contentious and angry woman, a fighting and disruptive and backbiting and aggressive and woman. You'd better just dwell in the wilderness, all right, out there in peace, because you'll get some peace out there. You won't get no peace with a contentious woman. All right, always starting issues, always trying to start a fight, being jealous, thinking you did this. Why did you do this? No accountability. It's never her. It's always you. You did this. Why did you do this? Why did you say this? This, that, and another. And again, you say, oh, why do you use a black woman? Why you use a ghetto black woman voice for that? Because that's who it usually is. These ghetto talking black women. All right, and that ain't just how black women talk. All right, I know plenty of black women. They don't talk like this. They don't talk like what? So you just don't like the way the black woman talk, like because we ghetto, because we talk like yes, you're ghetto because you talk like that. Yes, Yes. All right. Now, black women have a little bit of Southern. There's different. They might have an accent like this, and they might talk with an accent. That's a little bit different because you have an accent. When you talk like this here, right here now, it's like, excuse me, ma'am. You are in California. California does not have an accent. All the guys talk like this. I guess there is a little accent, but it don't sound like that. All right? It don't sound like that. And you see black women in California that sound like that. Black women in Houston that sound like that. Black women in New York that sound like that. Black women in Texas that sound like that. Black women in Michigan that sound like that. Black women in Ohio that sound like that. So that ain't an accent at that point. That's just that. I mean, it is an accent, but that ain't like a regional accent. That's a cultural accent. That's a ghetto ass accent. All right. It's the same thing with I I blood. What's good, blood? Yo, blood, come here for a minute, right? For a minute, minute. That ain't an accent. Minute. That's you don't know how to say minute. Let me see you for a minute. Minute. You sound like a retard. What minute, please? Fucking retard, man. All right, you sound stupid when you talk like that. Like you ain't got no sound. What the fuck? What? What? Hey, blood. Hey, blood. Blood. Hey, blood. Get the fuck out of here, you dumbass. All right, you can't even say, "Hey man, I'm gonna beat your ass, man. I'm gonna beat your ass." Oh, is that right? Oh, damn, that sounds crazy, bro. You're gonna I don't want none of that. Fucking dumb, man. Say ass. Eh. It's ass. ASS. It ain't AHH, you dumbass. Dumbass, not dumbass. Dumbass, man. You dumbass, man. Stupid. Sound like you fucking smoked a bunch of heroin or some shit and you can't even formulate words anymore. Stupid. Act like you got some sense, Jake. All right? Just, infuriating. Why everybody that way on talent, man? Well, everybody thinks you're unintelligent because you speak like that. Look at the brothers. Do any of the brothers speak like that? No. That's crazy because a lot of them come from different places. So they'd have accents. You see the brother down in, I mean, for example, like street teacher, Elder Manatazaba, he got a little bit of an accent down there in South Carolina. He probably might not think he has an accent because a lot of people that are from those places don't think they have accents. Like my girl, she's from Virginia. She don't think she has an accent. That shit shows through. All right. But if you're from that area, you're not gonna think that you're having an accent. Just like I used to have English friends, and they'd be like, "Oh, I like your accent." And I'm like, "What? I don't have an accent." They're like, "You do? You do have an accent?" They'll be like, I had this one friend named Naomi. She'd be like, say Taco Bell, say Taco Bell. And I'm like, Taco Bell, and she's like, "See, that's your accent." I'm like, "I said Taco Bell. There ain't no accent there, right?" But to her, there's an accent. But she don't think that she has an accent. But to me, she has an accent, right? But all the brothers in the camps, the ones down south, ones up east, right? A lot of them have accents, right? But it ain't that one. No, it's that. All right, man. Give me that passes, man. Yo, hey, give me John 3:16, man. You never hear that. You never hear that. You want to know why? Because it ain't an accent. It's stupidity. Okay? And that's the other thing. You men will get with women that sound like that, or you women will get with men that sound like that. Like, I don't know why that turned out to not be shit. Well, it's because you tried to get with a fucking a hood rat, and you got surprised when they were a hood rat. Crazy how that works, isn't it? A little crazy how that works. Let's get Ecclesiasticus. And we slang is different. Don't get me wrong. We all have slang, okay? But we know how to pronounce words too. These people don't know how to pronounce words, man. These people in the hood, it's bad education. They didn't get a good education. Hell, I didn't even get a good education. I dropped out of high school. So if I can speak normal, you damn sure should be able to fucking put two and two together. I'm not the smartest man in the world, right? I'm not, but damn, I can kind of formulate a sentence. Gee. Sirach 25 through 16 through, we going through 19, right? Yep, through 19. It says, I had rather dwell, and really think about this, really imagine this, use your visualization skills to really picture this. I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. You would rather live with two dangerous beasts, a dragon that breathes fire and a lion with some sharp-ass claws and teeth, than you would be around a wicked woman. Ain't that crazy? It says, the wickedness of a woman changeth her face. There it is again. Changeth her face and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth. So you can see a wicked woman. You can just see it in her face. She doesn't have that sweetness in her face. You can just tell. You can just tell. You can just tell the type of woman she is, right? Her husband shall sit among his neighbors, and when he heareth it, shall sigh bitterly. Called the woman an it. All right. She's like, where you been all day? Where you been, Tyrell? Where you been all day? Because you supposed to be in here. You supposed to be doing it. You think I'm fucking supposed to do everything? Well, you ain't shit. You ain't shit. Well, you just because you worked all day, you think, well, I'm gonna just clean the dishes. I ain't your slave. You need to get up in here, do these fucking dishes. I don't care if you worked all day. I don't care. I'm tired. I'm tired. I've been sitting at home not doing shit all day, and I'm tired. And there you go. I gotta go, guys. I gotta go. All right, I gotta go deal with this situation, guys. This fucking bitch. This fucking bitch is on my nerve. I'll be back later, man. I'll sneak off later. I'll come back. All right? Yeah. Sigh bitterly. And that's why these men are like, oh my God. Okay. All right. All right. Fine then. Okay. That's a special accent that men put on with dealing with women. Where they're like, all right. Okay. Yep. Yep. Sure. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Can do. Will do. Yep. Absolutely. Right? Only a woman could push you to that extreme of wanting to snap, man. That's another reason why you brothers need to watch out, because a woman will push you to your limits and have you crash the fuck out, right? Have you outside of your mind, think, I'm gonna fucking kill the bitch. You don't want to do that, or hell, you can get to the point where you're gonna kill yourself. I'm just gonna kill myself. I'm gonna do it. I can't stand this bitch no more. I can't stand being here no more. I'm gonna just drive my car off this cliff. Right, I won't have to deal with her. She calls you on the phone, bitch. I'm gonna just jerk the wheel. I'm gonna just jerk the wheel right now. It says, and I make jest of the situation, but it's real fucking situations that happen, man. You need to watch out. Verse 19, it says, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. That's the other thing you need to realize. All wickedness, it's but little of the wickedness of a woman. The wickedness that a woman can do, oh my gosh. They'll lie and say that you hit them, that you touched them inappropriately. You said he said he was going to come back and kill me. And then now you look like a demon. And I never said any of those things. All right, and ain't nobody gonna believe you because these women are evil as hell. They'll put on the cry. They got the tears running. Bitch, how are you even doing? You need to be an actress, right? You gotta watch out, man. You got to watch out. And if you don't listen, all right, to the brother, it's not just me that says these things. All the brothers and apostles warn you about these women. This type of shit can happen, man. You need to watch the fuck out. It's the mindset of the American woman, all right? No accountability, all right? Bear with me. I'm going to close this out 1 minute. It's like and my battery's at 2. I wanted to make sure most of that got saved in case it cuts off. So if this cuts out, it's fine. I'll just upload it, whatever. But you got to be careful, man, because, the apostles, the elders, brother, everyone's warning you, because if you do not listen, if you do not heed, and it's not really listening to us, because we're just speaking through the Spirit. Some of the things we say is just, unjust and joke and just, vulgar joking or saying some vulgar stuff. But the stuff that we're speaking of about these women is coming from the Scriptures. You need to watch out, man, because they will get you caught up, all right? And then you're going to be, in a sour situation, and you won't have anybody to blame but yourself, man. All right. So let's get Ephesians. This one's for the women. All right, because most of the lesson was about warning you men. But let's get Ecclesiastes 25 and 16 through 19. We got to go fast, only on 2% battery, and you could already see the phone lagging. So it says, I had rather dwell. That ain't it. I'm trying to get Ephesians. Slack you. It keeps on selecting the wrong thing. I got to pay attention too, is what I'm not paying attention. It's on 1% now. We'll see if it even lasts. Lord willing, this is all 3 how Shemi how shy now. So I'm going to read this real quick. It says, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. Quick breakdown. If you wouldn't do it to the Lord, why would you do it to your man? 23, for the husband is the head of the wife, even as Hamashiach is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. There you go. It says, therefore, as the church is subject unto Hamashiach, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. 25, husbands, love your wives. And in order to be a wife, you have to act like a wife. Even as Hamashiach also loved the church and gave himself for it. So you women need to change your behavior as well. You need to be better to your men. If you want to be treated like a wife, act like a wife. All right? You men, watch out for these women. I got to close out there because this is probably going to die out in just a minute. But Lord willing, the lesson was edifying. Slack if I rambled too much. Lord willing, it was edifying nonetheless. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak. Shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until next one, Lord willing. Shalom.